said
he was announced as.
Yeah, he was announced as Brett Favre, half-naked girls or strippers, maybe wife, is going through chemo for breast cancer.
No, because I won't write fiction.
What? Hey everyone, welcome to Born Brazen. We're your hosts, Holly and Jules. And if you've never been here, we keep it real with unfiltered opinions on documentaries, life, and everything in between. No scripts, no sugarcoating, just raw conversation and honest takes. If you've been here before, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. Now let's get into today's episode. All right, so today we are going to get into another Untold story series on Netflix. This one is going to be The Fall of Favre, or if you would like to say Favor, either one. So it's about, obviously, Brett Favre. We have watched half of the episode to do part one, and then we'll watch the other half, and then that'll come out later this week on Thursday. So set the scene. It is 1991, and Brett Favre is drafted into Green Bay Packers.
He starts off being drafted to the Atlanta Falcons.
Correct.
In 91.
Falcons in
so 91. The 91 was his first draft.
Yes. So a little bit of a backstory too, which if you watched our last episode on Manti Te'o, this will sound really familiar. So came from a background of family really into football.
Mm-hmm. His dad was a little hardcore.
Yeah.
A little more hardcore though, than, comparing to Manti, but meant well.
Yeah,
but
I think
very hardcore of a father because he was a coach as well.
Yeah, so he was one of those dads that in the back of his mind thought he was doing something really well. Mm-hmm. So if he did anything, it would be like, you could do better this, you need to do this, you need to do that. When in reality, as we all know, as a kid, you don't really take it as constructive criticism. You kind of take it more as like, my dad's being a douche.
Well, I felt like he wouldn't give him the compliment sandwich. I felt like he would just be completely ignoring, not that we heard a lot about him, but in what little bit they played of him, he tended to just ignore the good. And, it could have been a 4-hour-long game of incredibleness, but the one thing he did wrong, that was what he focused on.
Correct. So yeah, family came up, football was a big thing. Similar to, when we'll get into this, but similar to Manti Te'o, when we talk about him getting drafted into a Wisconsin Green Bay Packers, shifted that whole game around. They became a much better team. So a lot of similarities within that. So it starts off with kind of them talking how wonderful he is and how great of a player he is, and then switches more into this big scandal that's happening. Now, we haven't gotten to the depths of the scandal, but it's a welfare scandal.
Well, part of it, I think it was multiple scandals, honestly, because there's something to do with welfare that they touched on at the very beginning, but we have no idea what that's even about yet.
Right.
And then obviously the scandal with Jen, mm-hmm. which we
just got into.
And all we basically have gotten to is to get to know who she is at this point.
Yeah. And so one thing that when they start off and they're kind of interviewing people, it was kind of made out, which I think it bothers me a little bit, is he should have done better. He was put on a pedestal because he's a celebrity, because he's this football player that everybody knows. Mm-hmm. And so everybody's like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have. I mean, he was partying, he was drinking, he was speaking with girls and doing stuff with girls. But I feel like, I'm going to say we all go through that. I haven't done stuff with girls, but I feel like we've all partied and made some questionable decisions in life.
I wrote it down that when he started his NFL career, he was technically single, but he had a 3-year-old. So he had been through some stuff already at this point, because by the time he started in football, he already had a kid and was not with the mom.
Yeah. So, so I got a little, I don't want to say butthurt about it, but I was like, he puts his pants on the same way everybody else does. Like, we really shouldn't shame him, he shouldn't look worse than anybody else just because in the position that he's in, I guess is my stance.
And like the other thing we talked about, like it's kind of BS when people like this and stuff like this happens, it gets blown up. But, my example being like, just a quick little clip of her complaining about Brett, like she was like, if I was being essentially harassed by someone on a weekly basis.
Not right by any means. We're not saying like.
But it doesn't turn into, it's because he's who he is and a celebrity.
Right.
Heaven forbid but people do what he did all the time.
Right. I always tell people, like, you're not better than me. You're not above me. Like, we put our pants on the same exact way.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you better than me. It doesn't make you below me. It just makes you is equal to me. So I think this is a perfect scenario of like, he's just him. So then we go to the Atlanta draft, which was hilarious because.
Well, everyone thought that he was going to go in the first round.
Correct.
And he did not. 30 teams passed over him the first day.
Yeah. And so when they did call his name, they said
he was announced as.
Yeah, he was announced as Brett Favre, which is freaking hilarious, knowing who he is and knowing like everybody knows him.
Yeah. I mean, he was hugely popular going into the draft. Like, people knew who he was. Maybe not as big as Manti, but he already going into the draft had a chip on his shoulder and was in the clips making comments about, I'm going to show everyone who's the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, he wasn't even on a team yet. He was very cocky.
Yeah. There's a difference in being like cocky and confirmed and just being cocky, and he was just cocky. It was awful. But then I also was like, I mean, if you look at his name, it's Favre. I mean, I would have called him Favor too.
Yeah.
Or Favre.
Yeah. Or Favre.
And,
kind of like how my last name is.
Yeah.
And how it should be pronounced, but I don't.
Yeah.
So I wonder technically if it's even right, because, putting my shit out there, it's bound to come out eventually where I'm from because I get loud. But, in case no one knew, Jason and the Kelceys, that is not how you're supposed to pronounce his last name at all. It is not pronounced Kelce, but that's what everyone says. So it stuck.
All right. Well, he is Favre, not Favre or Favor, but now I'm just going to call him that because it's fun. So he... like Julie said, he started single with a 3-year-old, which is hard enough as it is, especially when you're traveling all the time. Like,
yeah, like his daughter was behind in Mississippi because that's where he grew up.
Yeah. So when he started with the Green Bay Packers, in Wisconsin. Kind of like Manti Te'o, where he turned Notre Dame around, he turned Green Bay Packers around. They went on a super, super long winning season.
Didn't have a losing season for a long time.
Yeah, which is not at all what they were used to. I think that goes to show you, like, we're not putting down that he wasn't good. He was excellent.
Yeah.
Like, throwing the ball.
Great freaking career.
He was a rocket when he threw that ball. And but you can be really good and not be cocky. Like you can be a good player and still be a good person. But he's also not the only one that has done this. Like it's not like he's an anomaly and he's
just not your average, like I like to hear about the quarterbacks that are very humble and, family guys, church guys, like
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, you can say that. I'll let you.
I love me some Jalen. Love him. If you don't know Jalen Hurts, he was a great quarterback at Alabama. We lost him, sadly. But he went over to...
Eventually made his way to my team. And
the Eagles. So, not mad about it. It's so good to see him, but he was my favorite. He was my favorite quarterback ever. And he was so humble. But
that's I think why so many people like him.
Yeah.
Because he's not somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but like he's never been involved in anything like weird or
he hasn't had a fake girlfriend.
Correct. But he's not in the off season or when he's not playing, like out doing things and getting, video recorded or tapes, doing something dumb, like being a drunk asshole or beating up women or,
Unless he hasn't gotten caught. That's a whole other thing. And interesting enough, when they started this, they brought Michael Vick in.
Yeah, the thing started with Michael Vick, and I was like, wow, okay, we're coming in hot here.
Yeah, like out of all people that you chose Vic. You chose Vic.
I guess technically he kind of fits because he himself has had his own issues, and I'm good with him now. I don't have a problem with him. I'm one of those people that strongly believes like, yeah, he did something stupid and he was horrible, but I believe he paid his time and now continues to give back. So, and he played on my team for a little while. Some people weren't happy about us signing him, but I don't like people that can't allow somebody to have a second chance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
Third and fourth chances?
Yeah. Because he's done, as far as I know, he's never gotten in trouble for that again. So,
All right. So, moving on to, then it brings Jen into the picture.
And we get to know Jen a little bit.
Jen.
Where she came from, how she started.
Yes. So, she was at FSU. She was in the marching band.
High school marching band, then went to FSU and
color guard.
But so when she was found though, and her career got started, was because she was in the stands. So she wasn't in the band anymore because that morning she was bartending.
Yes. And
a tailgate. She was bartending a tailgate.
Yes. And so she was bartending at a tailgate and somebody spilled beer all over her shirt. And so she was like, well, I was wearing a bathing suit top underneath, so I just took my shirt off and that's what I wore to the game.
Yeah. Something about, it's 89 degrees and
Florida.
There's boys in the stands with no shirts and
glitter
and this and that. So she was like, why not? I'm just going to wear my bikini top to the game.
Yeah. So now she's on, the camera always pans, right, to all the people, and they pan on her. And she's got a cowboy hat on and her little bikini top, and she's just hooting and hollering. And so, again, these people, Deadspin, you remember them. They're from
our old pals.
Our old pal Deadspin. They pick up this photo and they post it on the sidelines with no shirt on, no shirt on, just bathing suit top and a cowboy hat. And it actually
becomes an overnight sensation.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, who's the girl with the cowboy hat on?
Yeah.
She was pretty and, skinny and
she was pretty. She's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, crazy how she became an overnight sensation over
Well, once Deadspin posted the photo, it was all over because,
Yeah.
you know, sex sells.
Oh, yeah, 100%. In different ways. But that's not what we're talking about today. So, so after it's funny, her friends, her parents were like, I think I just saw Jen on the TV, and she was
Yes,
not,
they were all texting her.
not
Everyone
in a
was
lot of
just texting.
clothes. Like, she wasn't wearing a whole lot. And
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
think it was her.
Yeah, I think that was her. I can't imagine my dad texting me like, "Are you on TV half naked?" I'm like, "No, Dad, that's like somebody else."
Yeah, that's not me.
That's not me.
No, Mom. No.
You raised me better. So yeah, so from this picture that blew her everything up, she too got a really big head. She is the most conceited person.
If just being honest, what we've known of her so far, I don't really like her.
No,
I don't care for her. I don't care for her attitude of I'm better than everyone else. And
yes.
I'm hotter than everyone else.
Oh yeah, she's like at one point during the show, I guess people nowadays, and I'm sure everybody knows this, but you know, you look at the crowd nowadays at college football game or at any football game, and you see people that are half naked, girls that are half naked, and she was like, "You can imitate, but you're never going to be the original." And I'm like, "Ew," because everybody imitates you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's probably
no one's imitating you. They're just also doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I brush my teeth every day. Who was the first person to brush their teeth? Am I imitating them? No.
Wow.
I'm choosing to brush my teeth because it's the thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Poser. So, anyway, so yeah, she got a lot of opportunities. So she actually went.
She said she did it ass backwards.
Ass backwards. So she went Playboy to Maxim to Sports Illustrated. Was kind of the way she
the job offers, how
the
they
job
how
offers.
They come out.
Yeah. And she did all of those. I mean, it showed where she was, you know, modeling and taking pictures and all of that. So pin that thought that she was doing all of that, right? Mm-hmm. She was taking the picture.
That she herself was using her body to make money.
Yeah. And she was putting herself out there.
Correct.
So after she got done with that, they offered her a job.
Yeah. She finalized, like, the last job was a Sports Illustrated job, and she was called Gen X, and she had a road show.
Yes.
We're touring colleges.
Yes. We tour colleges, talking to the players, and
I think her main objective was just like different college locations and like showing what makes them cool and like why you should want to go to school there or what a day in the life looks like, you know, going to a college like that and going to football.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that also, you know, put her in the limelight. I wouldn't say a little bit, I would say a lot of it. And as all of this is going on, Brett is married, and he's a character. They show him where he's around drunk, around a whole bunch of half naked girls or strippers, maybe. We're not sure. Yeah, at a club. And meanwhile, all this is going on. His wife is going through chemo for breast cancer. So some would argue that maybe he should have been at home. Yeah, with his wife.
I think so.
Unless
a little bit of a dirtbag move.
Yeah, I would say dick move, but dirtbag.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to do a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just being like, I'm a football player and like going out into the world and like showing your fans that you are kind of a normal human being. And I get that. Right. But there's a time and place and a type of way to be doing that when your wife's going through chemo.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm assuming it's probably when he's on the road.
Yeah.
And again, not faulting him for going out and having fun. Like, go out, have a few beers, whatever. I think we drew the line a little bit when we started getting trashed and chanting songs that are inappropriate that I will not say on this episode. However, and being around a whole bunch of half-naked girls, I think that's kind of where we drew the line a little bit.
Yeah.
Because even if you couldn't be at home with your wife, I'm pretty sure she would not have liked to known that you were in that type of environment.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't have liked that. I think I would have been pretty pissed.
Yeah.
If my husband was out partying and I was like throwing up from chemo.
Yeah.
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 Because that's hard. That's right. I mean, never been through it, but I've seen, So,
oh, well, the best thing is, so let's tell them let's discuss so somebody was asked to write about Brett Favre, and they wanted, because there was talk around town of all these things that he was doing, going out to bars with these half-naked women, and somebody from the football organization asked a writer to write an article about Brett Favre, but make it family friendly, show what kind of family man he is, show what kind of person he is, like husband, family man. And the guy flat out said, no, because I won't write fiction.
Hey everyone, Holly here. If you are looking for a one-stop shop for custom items through Shopify, podcast, or website design, let Linktree do the work for you. Go to Linktree/bornbrazen to ease your day. Again, that's Linktree/bornbrazen, BORNBRAZEN. You won't be disappointed. I mean,
so
damn. Damn. That's, yeah. Can you imagine though? So if I'm assuming Brett Favre knows that there's a documentary coming out about him, right? Unless he's totally blind to the world, he knows. So I am sure he has sat down to watch it. Can you imagine being like, that son of a bitch? I can't believe he said that about me.
Yeah, like if he didn't know he said that, that's hysterical.
Yeah, he'd be like, not fiction, I'm a family man. Like, what? I did have my times. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. So we talked about his father being a very stern individual. And later on down the road, his father, his name was Irvin, he actually passed away. He had a heart attack while he was driving and died. The family, they said the family didn't even have a chance to.
Yeah, there was no chance to try to help him.
Yeah,
because
he went to a ditch. Yeah. So didn't say goodbye or anything, that's got to be. I don't say that's got to be. That's rough.
Yeah.
So that kind of, and they said it on there. That kind of, that's the pivotal point where he started a downward spiral. Because his dad was really important to him. So that was the part where he said, oh no, we're going down. We're hitting rock bottom.
But at the same time, don't forget too, like his age is also a factor here, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because this all started in 1991 when he was first drafted. And then fast forward to when it started going downhill. That literally did not happen till about 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
So he had a very long, good career of good things prior to the incident, and then his dad passing away, and
yeah,
like luckily that wasn't way earlier.
But also, one could argue that you are much older and you shouldn't be doing these shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You should have a better head on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, teach there. So there was a lot of talk with him. He didn't know whether he wanted to stay with Wisconsin, the Packers. He didn't know if he wanted to go. He was kind of on the fence about it. So as any football player, best business would do, they found a replacement. I mean, they're not going to sit around and wait on you to make a decision. They have other people.
Yeah.
So then they recruited Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So then that adds to Brett's head of,
yes,
oh shit, I'm being replaced.
Yeah. And so, where his confidence is at this peak, nobody can ever replace me. I'm the best in the world. His dad died. Now he's a little vulnerable. And now they hire Aaron Rodgers instead of like begging him to come. They're like, all right, we're just going to hire somebody else. So now
he announced retirement. Mm-hmm. First, he was like, he just said, I'm retiring. And he was kind of a little diva. Like,
oh yeah,
pretty much like, bye. Like, I'm out of here. Like, I can absolutely play again. I don't want to, is what he said.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to. Mm-hmm. So, because after Aaron Rodgers came in, he threw 25 interceptions within his span of the season.
Ouch.
Yeah. Coming from somebody who, I don't know the stats, but probably threw none, if not very few interceptions in the past.
Yeah. And when he did, that was his dad's,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was his dad's like, don't suck, do better moments. Do that. Yeah. Which like you said, it has a lot to do with his dad also being a coach, knowing what to look for.
Yeah. Well, they said that, he also said, it wasn't his father, but somebody else said that they did have a hard time with him when he first started with Green Bay because, which I'm surprised about this. They said that he didn't watch tape and he didn't do these certain things that quarterbacks do when they're, practicing, like part of practicing, like the whole watching tape, practicing on the field. Like there's multiple things that you do to prep yourself before a game, not just on the field. So they said that when he came in, he was kind of all over the place and like didn't know what was going on because how it all started was he was not the starting quarterback once they drafted him. Well, they didn't draft him. They got him from Atlanta. But once they got him from Atlanta, he wasn't the main quarterback. So it just so happened that there was a game where the quarterback they did have got injured and had to be helped off the field. So he had no choice but to come in and play.
Yeah. So he was second string.
Yeah. So at the beginning, it was a little wonky. He did come in and win them that game.
Correct.
But it took him some time to get up to snuff because he wasn't doing certain things. And I just find that hard to believe that somebody with a father like he had and his background, that he was not that type of player to like be all in on like all these things, like to prepare himself.
Yeah. And I don't think, we talked about like Manti Te'o being the leader. He wasn't a good leader. Brett Favre was like,
we haven't seen anything that makes it seem that way.
Yeah. I mean, how they said like he wouldn't eat with the team like during lunches and like all this other stuff. Like he wasn't just in the mix, making relationships and building relationships and things like that. So
he just had a big ego.
Yeah. He had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's like a Pringles chip. So where we left off with for this episode, in 2008, he went to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been to Atlanta, he's been to Wisconsin, and he is now with the Jets. He gets hired on there, and Jen, our friend Jen, was hired by the Jets.
Yes. So it kind of all happened at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Jets because his agent basically said, you really only have like two options to these couple of teams that would take you that you could still, actively play.
And this is after he said he was retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jen, working with the college tours,
mm-hmm.
the Jets went to her and said, we're looking to hire somebody full-time to do what you do, but just at our stadium. Like, we want you to run around and like hype up the crowd and ask questions to people and just get people excited to be here. So she took the job because she wanted to be somebody like Aaron Rodgers, for example. She looked up to her. So she took that position. as being the girl on the sidelines, which I have opinions on that, but
she's not a fan. By opinions, she's not. She actually gets pretty irritated on the when we're watching TV. She's like, "You're a female. Get off the football field." she's not a fan.
Yeah, it's weird.
Girl power.
I mean, yes, yes, but I just think that there's a person that's made for that, and I don't know.
But sex sells.
But I think that's partially my problem with it, because that's what they want, and I don't like that. Like, I don't want them to objectify the woman on the sidelines, because, like, for an example, the Phillies just essentially fired this girl that we had that did the same thing, but it was baseball games. Well, she got fired. They hired somebody else to take her place for whatever reason. I'm sure there's a whole story there. I'm not going to get into the whole story right this minute, but this guy took over. And now, as a prime example, everyone is just bitching and complaining because they want their girl back, and they don't want him because she was hot and she was pretty. Like,
yeah,
that's not why she had the job.
Yeah.
So that's why I have a problem. Like, I don't like the objectification of us women, and like that if I had that job, I have to stand on the sidelines and, have my boobs out and be dressed provocatively, or, tight clothes, or, pounds of makeup. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't wear makeup. If I do, it's like eye makeup, and that's about it. What you see is what you get, guys. There's no hiding this. So, and she, speaking about that.
But we already knew a little bit about her from previous, which is also why I had an issue with, if you recall, we put a pin in that.
Yes. Yeah.
She sold her body.
Yeah.
And then she took this job to be on the Jets sideline. And she had a problem. We learned before we stopped watching that they hired a guy essentially to be a bodyguard for her. Bodyguard. He's like, I'm no bodyguard. But they hired him to, in a sense, just follow her around like a lost puppy, but to be there in case she needed backup. And she would say, I don't want to go. Like, she would tell him prior, oh, I don't want to go into the stands. And then he goes on about, like, what happens at football games and how the crowd is and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you took this job.
Yeah.
And you knew that this is what it entailed. Then don't be in that position. Don't put yourself in that position. Like, if you don't want to, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
100%.
Get your ass in the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go in the stands and do what you've been hired to do. Objectifying yourself, like, just to be that girl. Because, everyone in the stands will talk to you because it's a pretty girl with her boobs hanging out.
Well, that, and, the guy who got her, the old man that got her the job touring.
Yes.
That led her
the
now
Sports
to
Illustrated
the Jets.
guy.
He even made a comment of like, of course I would hire you because you're hot. And I'm like,
you were the hottest girl on the sidelines of that game.
Yeah. And I'm like, first of all, you're like 3 times her age.
Yeah. It was very creepy and gross.
Yeah.
To hear him say that, to like physically watch him say that in this show.
But then if you think about it, like, how the times have changed. Like, if that happened today, whew,
he'd have been fired.
Oh, 100% he'd been fired. Yes. So after she gets this gig, somebody tells her, like, what if I told you that Brett Favre wanted to call you, wanted to get your number? And she said, I like my job. I want to keep my job. And so I guess politely declined.
But she also said, I also slightly look like his wife, resemble his wife.
Yeah, I also.
So not a good idea.
Right.
And she does. She did.
100%.
100%. Like, they kind of showed clips, like they showed her telling that story, but then they showed a clip to Brett Favre's wife, and I mean, almost like identical.
Yeah.
I mean, very simple. I mean, somebody like me. Long brown hair.
Yeah.
Tan. They both had very similar body builds. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming Brett Favre's wife a little bit older than Jen, but
Yeah.
very, very similar looks.
Yeah. Yeah. So after she politely, respectfully declines, then she starts getting emails from an unknown source.
And MySpace messages, because this was the time of MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. Back, man, I remember MySpace. So yeah, so she starts getting these weird like emails and stuff of like, hey, I saw you in the sidelines.
Yeah, the two on MySpace were a little creepy because they were by like a totally weird rando name.
Yeah.
And just like, I saw you in the tunnel.
Yeah, I saw you in the tunnel.
I can't tell you who I am, but I'm older and have gray hair, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm older. Yeah. How does that your pickup line?
Yes.
I don't know that I would use that.
And I'm new. I'm new and have gray hair.
Yeah.
I'm
new, old, and stalking you. So
yeah.
Yeah. So she
But as a side note, to be honest, I do not know any of the info on his wife. So apologizing for if we say anything, like we don't know. I don't know if she's still alive, if she gets sick. All we know is that at this point she's going through chemo for cancer. But so moving forward in this show, I don't know the circumstances behind the actual scandal itself, like if his wife is still around, if they've gotten divorced, if she's passed. Like, we don't currently know any of that. And I have not Googled it I didn't want to cheat. I wanted to watch the show.
Don't be cheap.
So,
yeah. So very good point out there. We, respect
yes,
that situation.
Just because I don't know if, because some of the stuff that we've been talking about, like at this point, he's still doing it behind his wife's back.
Yes.
But I don't know how for long. Like, I don't know if the whole thing is behind his wife's back, like, or not. So, but at the time that we're learning this about her and finding out that these messages were being sent to her, I'm under the assumption that he is still married to his wife.
Correct. Yes. Hopefully not still going through chemo, but I guess we'll find that out.
Yeah.
And then in the next one. So, so after she didn't respond to these messages or what have you, he then starts texting her.
Yeah, he gets her phone number.
Yeah, he gets her phone number and he starts texting her. And yeah, that's where it stops for this episode. It was a lot of background, I think, in this one. Not too much.
So our next one should get really juicy, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think, there was juice in this one, but like not freshly squeezed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think next one.
But there was some good gems so far in this half.
Yeah.
The guy not wanting to write about him.
Yeah.
Like, that
was hilarious.
That did me in. I was like, dude, I'm dead.
And the Favre. That did me in too. Favre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was very like, an older gentleman, and he was just like, for whatever pick this round, Atlanta picks Brett Favre. And then it just kind of goes on to the next one. Like, they didn't really elaborate or anything.
No, which I think was a perfect opportunity to elaborate on that, because I think it would be friggin' hilarious. But I suppose this isn't a comedy, so maybe inappropriate for the section. So, so that's where we're going to leave off. Next episode will drop on Thursday, where we will talk more in depth about this scandal, welfare scandal, girl scandal.
The Crocs are still to come.
The Crocs. There you go. I have no idea what that means,
because
I'm excited.
Our last episode.
Yeah,
that there's
the Crocs.
Crocs.
So as always, if you're listening on Spotify, comment, like, follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, follow, share, the whole 9 yards.
Join our discussion, because I would love to know how everyone else feels about, so far what we've learned about her.
Yeah.
And
if you watch this, or if you know about this, do you feel like she's cocky, conceited?
Yeah.
Very into herself.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I definitely am not that person blaming the victim.
No.
But
No.
I feel like she set herself up for some of this to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm pretty sure, I feel like we're going to have a big discussion on things that she did or didn't do that she should have maybe done to have avoided some of this, I feel like.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm a big, we're going to tangent just a little bit, but I'm a big person on, when people say like girls shouldn't wear this and they shouldn't wear that and they shouldn't walk like this. And I'm like, I mean, would I look like that? Absolutely not. However, just because somebody does not give the man
Correct.
a right to say that's mine and I'm going to take it.
Correct.
However,
there's also a time and place.
Well, that, and if you are, and we're going to find out, this may not be the case, but if you are talking and you are flirting and you are kind of bringing this to a head, then,
because she should have stuck to, as far as I'm concerned, the way she handled that at the beginning. I like my job. I want to keep my job, and I look like his wife.
Yeah.
It should have ended there.
Correct.
This should have never gone anywhere, in my opinion. And then none of this would have happened. She should have been like, I am like absolutely not speaking with you. You are married. Move on. And that be it.
Yeah. And maybe that's what happened. And maybe this is something totally different. But
yeah,
she's got a big part in this. So I'm assuming they didn't bring her in just to say it was nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she's part of this. So anyways, we will catch you guys at next episode where we will continue this shit show of a story with Brett Favre. So until next time, stay positive and stay brazen.